Starting off this week with a gotcha, I learned pretty hard that you should pay attention to the order that you're riveting the aileron hinge brackets on the outboard side. Make absolutely sure that you are riveting the rib side first and the spar side second. What ends up happening is if you do the spar side first, the tail end of the rivets actually blocks access to the rivets that are on the rib side. So I had to drill out the ribs, I had to drill out the rivets on the left wing a number of times before I got it right, and then obviously learned my lesson on the right wing, so it went a lot faster. Here, starting to get into the leading edges, the outboard leading edges for both wings, just getting all that blue vinyl off of the ribs and getting those deburned. We all know that the deburring direction is coming, so as soon as I take the blue vinyl off, I go ahead and deburr some of the sharp edges and whatnot and get those dressed up so I can work with the parts a little bit easier. Here I'm marking off the 5/16 offset. I've got a jig that I use to do that. It makes it a whole lot faster on creating all those J channels. And here I'm marking through and getting rid of those cutouts in those ribs that are going to interface with the spar, that stiffening bar on the spar when it attaches to the main wing. Here, just going through and again deburring some of those connection sheets for the leading edge and the fuel tank when those go together on the wing. And here deburring again some of those rivet holes that we know the direction is coming, so I'm going to take care of it now. Also notice that if you deburr some of those ribs ahead of time, it makes cleco-ing a little bit easier, not by much, but it does make a little bit of a difference, makes it somewhat easier. Here you'll see me using the soldering iron to take out the blue vinyl for just the rivet holes for where the ribs go. I like to try to preserve that blue vinyl as much as I possibly can, especially with the all-clad parts, and make sure that those are protected for as much as possible. Here you'll see me kind of messing around with trying to get those leading edges in form. I was trying to do it without those wooden jigs that are directed in the directions, but come to find out that it's really, really difficult to do that otherwise. So I remember that I had some of those in the basement from my previous build, so I popped those out and got that leading edge formed up. I did notice that the skins are extremely tight on the leading edges. You got to put a lot of work into getting those ribs in the right spot. It makes sense with the amount of force that the leading edges are going to face, but it was much more tight than on anything else that I built so far, including the horizontal stabilizers, so it took a lot of effort to get those in place. Here doing the same thing for the right leading edge, getting that riveted up, front and back side, or I should say top and bottom side. And then the last portion of the video is me working on getting the J channel installed there, and then taking off that connection piece that's going to go between the fuel tank and the leading edge, and getting that countersunk and getting ready for the rivets. And that's all I got this week.